Okay. Y noswaith dda gyfeillion, very good evening to all of you. Da ni ddim yn siŵr iawn faint yn union o bobl sydd yn ymuno efo ni heno, a mae hwn yn dipyn bach o arbrawf i ni yn y cyfnod rhyfedd yma da ni'n byw ynddo fo. We're not really sure how many people are out there and how many people will be joining us live this evening. It's the first time that we've engaged with this kind of live broadcast, in addition to the many Zoom, Jitsi, Teams, Skype meetings that we've been having over the past couple of weeks as our lives have changed so dramatically under these kinds of strange situations. Elin Gruffydd Jones, dyn enw fi, dwi yma heno ar gyfer lliwio chydig ar y noson yma. Mae Menna Elfyn efallai yn mynd i ymuno efo ni ac efallai ddim wedi cael ychydig bach o broblemau technegol fel sydd yn bownd o ddigwydd ar achlyssuron fel hyn. Menna Elfyn ydi llywydd PEN Cymru. She's the president of Wales PEN Cymru, and maybe she'll be joining us, and I really sincerely hope that she will be, because this event is so much of her passion and her respect towards Emyr Humphreys, as she instigated this competition to find the best piece of writing about Wales published during the year of Emyr's 100th birthday. Felly, dyna chydig o gefndir ar gyfer y noson. Mae gennym ni gwmni yn 3 beirniad ar gyfer y gystadleuaeth a'r 2 enillydd. Ac mae hefyd gennym ni gynrychiolaeth gan yr noddwyr sydd wedi cydweithio hefo Wales PEN Cymru i ddod ar noson yma at ei gilydd. Mi fyddwn ni'n symud o'r Gymraeg i'r Saesneg, ac mi fydd na chydig o destun yn Saesneg ar gael drwy'r chat ar gyfer y darlleniadau a'r beirniadaethau. As you can see, we're moving back and forth between Welsh and English. When there are prepared pieces in Welsh, we'll be using the chat facility in order to provide some kind of live subtitling or pre-prepared subtitling rather, using the chat facility, so we're able to follow some of the adjudications and the reading in Welsh as well. So we're trying to take this flexible attitude or this flexible approach towards technical and technological bilingualism, and I hope that the evening will work out well linguistically, as well as with wonderful content and wonderful speakers that we have. So it's a great privilege for me to ask the 3 adjudicators now to say a little bit about how they found the process of judging this first, hopefully, competition that we have. And, I can see that Menna may be joining us. Fantastic. Diolch yn fawr iawn, Menna. Dwi mor falch.
Iawn, hyd yn hyn.
Hyd yn hyn. Menna, gai droi at chi rwan. Sgwelwch chi dda.
Wel, diolch, a croeso i bawb, croeso chi gyd, a croeso i lodau pen a pobl sydd wedi galw heibio neu sydd wedi ymuno ni. Thank you everybody who's joined in and to celebrate this special prize giving event. Gai gyntaf ddweud penblwydd hapus, hwyr, i Emyr Humphreys, a ddathrodd i ben blwydd rhaid dyddiau nôl yn 101 mlwydd oed. Ac yn ôl Siôn i fab, yn parhau i gredu bod lenyddiaeth o Gymru lais unigryw, pwysig a hanfodol i'w gyflwyno i'r byd sydd ohoni. A mae dathlu'n bwysig. To celebrate is good, is wonderful. Dathlu'r gair a geiriau, dathlu dod ynghyd, a dathlu prif nofelydd y Gymru fodern ar ola o'r genhedlaeth arwrol hon, sydd wedi cysegru ddawn i wasanaethu'r genedl Gymreig. Nid fi ddwedodd hwnna, ond Wynn Thomas sydd mynd i siarad yn y funud. A geiriau arall, Wynn Thomas also said, Emyr Humphreys has been the supreme chronicler of Welsh time, a unique cultural achievement, European both in quality and in importance. A mi ddwedodd rhywun arall, Aris Thomas, neu llain Aris Thomas, hyn am Emyr. Emyr Humphreys is the chief interpreter of Welsh life. A dyna pam sefydlwyd y Wobr hon. That's why setting up this prize in his name and that of Wales PEN Cymru was an important thing to do. In times like these, we need to celebrate, interpret and document life in Wales in all its complexity and acknowledge the chance to perceive the world differently. And that's why PEN, of course, was formed in the first place after the First World War to advocate human rights and freedom of expression, and still is a movement that's very much needed today in today's world. And I'm proud to say that we, Wales PEN Cymru, are one of the 147 centres around the world safeguarding writers and their cultures. Felly, dyna pam mae'r Wobr yma'n bwysig hefyd. Y bwriad yma oedd gwneud Wobr PEN yng Nghymru i wneud dau beth a'i dod â nhw ynghyd i ddathlu a cefnogi gwaith ysgrifenedig blaengar, beiddgar a welwyd yn ystod 2019 a mawrygu hefyd enw un sydd wedi gwneud hynny mor glodwyw am ganrif. Felly fel llywydd Wales PEN Cymru o'n i'n ystyried ni'n fraint i allu gwireddu'r Wobr yma gan ddiolch i'r holl noddwyr arbennig a'i gwnaeth hi'n bosibl. Na I just gloi gyda cherdd fer. I'll finish with just a short poem from Shards of Light, a marvel of a volume of poetry by Emyr Humphreys, Sacred Tree. Cutting down the sacred tree, let it blossom again. Tribe or talent, they all protect the stories of their people in the conviction that by protecting the stories, they secure not only the past, but the future too. Ac felly drosodd nawr at y beirniaid over to the judges, and it's wonderful that we have two wonderful writers to celebrate today.
Diolch yn fawr iawn I ti, Menna. A diolch am yr e-bost I mi yn yngwadd I fod yn rhan o hwn. Nes I ddim petruso o gwbl. There were all sorts of good things about being one of the team judging this competition. It was good to be part of something organised by PEN Cymru. It was an honour to be involved in anything with a connection to Emyr Humphreys. And it was wonderful to read, some cases rereading, such a variety of good writing about Wales. And finally, the Zoom conversations with Daniel and Elin will be one of my good memories of lockdown. I'm going to read my adjudication in Welsh, while Elin will read hers in English. And Daniel Brayman, I understand, is going to do a bit of mix and match. Enwebwyd amrywiaeth eang iawn o ddarna ar gyfer Gwobr Emyr Humphreys eleni, y flwyddyn gyntaf i'r gystadleuaeth gael ei chynnal. Gofynnwyd am ddarna ffeithiol am Gymru, boed yn ysgrif, blog neu erthigl, yn Gymraeg neu yn Saesneg. A'r unig yn llawia oedd I bod nhw ddarna y crydair enwebwyr oedd yn haeddu lledaenu ymhellach. Cafwyd amrywiaeth o ran pyncia, o fwslemiaeth yng Nghymru I drafodaeth ynglŷn â'r hen goel gwrach honno bod pobl ond yn siarad Cymraeg pan fod dieithrin yn dod I mewn i'r dafarn. Cafwyd amrywiaeth o ran hyd. Credaf fod y rhai byrraf tua 700 gair ar hira tua 6,000 eiriau. Ac yn fwy heriol I ni fel beirniad, cafwyd amrywiaeth o ran arddull. Buom yn darllen darnau byr ac arddull seml boblogaidd, ac yn ceisio cloriannu yn erbyn darnau trymach, mwy cynhwysfawr a mwy academaidd I cywir. Fod yr elfen hon o ddewis Bestyn Shaw o gymharu Merlan Fynydd efo Ceffyl Gwedd wedi esgor ar gryn drafodaeth rhyngau ni, roeddan ni'n gytun ynglŷn â dau beth. Roedd yr rhaid i'r enillwyr ddeud rhywbeth o bwys, ac roedd rhaid iddyn nhw ddeud o mewn ffordd gelfydd. Y cynllawia hyn arweiniodd at ein dewis o ddau enillydd, un yn Gymraeg ac un yn Saesneg. Dau awdur oedd yn amlwg ac yn amlygu crebwyll ochr yn ochr a'r dawn I ymdrin ag iaith. Yr enillydd Saesneg yw Mark S. Redfern am ei ysgrif When Vice Came to Swansea. Mae'n disgrifio ac yn beirniadu'n hallt ac yn ddeifio fideo ddogfen a wnaethwyd gan faes ac a ddaeth yn hynod boblogaidd ar YouTube. Teitl gwreiddiol y fideo oedd Swansea Love Story. Mae'r teitl ddefnyddiodd YouTube ar ei chyfer, Teenage Heroin Epidemic yn rhoi syniad o'r cynnwys. Mae gen Redfern dromadrodd sy'n codi gwen i'r gweithgar pwnc. The directors donned their pith helmets and went hunting for a story in the Badlands of Swansea. Ond mae ganddo hefyd ddadl glir sydd yn ymhellach na dau neithurwr ffilm breintiedig yn troi cyfweliadau efo chydig o bobl ifanc yn Abertawe sy'n gaeth i gyffuria yn cack-handed poverty porn. Esboniau'n glir fod Cymru angen cyfryngau sydd yn gallu adrodd yn gyfrifol am y defnydd o gyffuria. Yr un syniad rhesymegol o hynny, nad yw'r Redfern yn ei ddeud, yw fod Cymru angen cyfryngau sydd yn gallu adrodd yn gyfrifol am bopeth yn ein gwlad. Hoffwn nodi fy mod i hefyd wedi mwynhau darn Gary Raymond, Prince of Wales Bridge, Symbolism of a Sign, yn arw. Ysgrif arall sydd yn gwneud pwyntiau pwysig, wedi gwisgo mewn hyd yn oed mwy o ddychan deifiol na arbennig y portread Elin Cairns. Un enillwyr clir oedd yn ar yr ochr Gymraeg, doedd hineb iaith gan Mererid Hopwood am ddanosodd gyntaf o'r 4 gwynt fis Awst llynedd. Mae'n ddatblygiad o rai meddyliau a rhannodd mewn cynhadledd a nawdd y Coleg Cymraeg Cenedlaethol yn 2016. Petrusais cyn y gwebrïo, a oedd hi falla rhy academaidd yn enwedig o'i chymharu ar enillydd Saesneg a llawer o'r cynigion eraill mwy newyddiadurol i naws, ond dim ond Petruso am eiliad nes i. Roedd rhesymau glir Mererid Hopwood a'i defnydd hyblyg o iaith naturiol i gyfleu'r rhesymau honno, yn llwyddo i greu darn na fydd o ddiddordeb i bawb yng Nghymru a thu hwnt, sydd â diddordeb yn y berthynas rhwng iaith a hunaniaeth. Llongyfeilliadau mawr i Redfern a Mererid Hopwood a diolch o galon i PEN Cymru am y gwahoddiad i feirniadu ac i Daniel ac Eluned am drafodaeth ddifyr.
Noswaith da bawb. Fel dwedodd Sian, rwy'n mynd i darllen fy beirniadaeth yn Saesneg, a rwy'n jyst eisiau dweud roedd hi'n bleser i beirniadu'r Wobr yma, felly diolch Menna, a diolch PEN Cymru. Mae'n hyfryd hefyd i gael rhywbeth i ddathlu yn ystod y dyddiau rhyfedd yma. Felly, i'r beirniadaeth nawr. It was an honour to be asked to judge the inaugural Emyr Humphreys Prize, the first prize in Wales established to celebrate short-form non-fiction. We received a variety of articles and essays, all of which had one thing in common, a focus on Wales and its relationship with the world. As judges, we looked for original pieces that we'd like to see shared widely in Wales and beyond. Subjects range from the politics of historical memory, poetic language, memoir, the power of signs, prejudice, translation, and more. Initially, we were asked to choose just one winner. However, after reading the nominations, we decided to share the prize between 2 brilliant writers in Welsh and English, Mererid Hopwood and Mark S. Redfern. First, our English language winner, When Vice Came to Swansea by Mark Redfern. This important piece of criticism explores the way Wales is portrayed on film. Along with his astute critique of the Vice documentary itself, Redfern writes smoothly and persuasively of the need for new original documentary stories from Wales by Welsh artists. The article uncovers inequalities between Wales and England through analysing this extremely popular and, he argues, quite damaging film viewed by millions on YouTube. Despite the different subject matter, Redfern's article reminds me of the famous essay by Emyr Humphreys, Arnold in Wonderland, which criticises the portrayal of Wales by the English poet laureate Matthew Arnold. Like Humphreys, Redfern weaves close analysis with a wider view of Welsh culture and politics. I think we can all agree with his conclusion, namely that Wales needs a stronger, more robust news media to counter cliched representations, in this case of poverty and drug abuse in South Wales. It's also a shame that non-fiction pieces by Welsh writers rarely seem to make it across the border. and crossing borders is a central element in the winning Welsh language essay too. Mererid Hopwood's Doethineb Iaith is written with flair, its style considered and beautiful. The subject matter is fundamental to Wales, and it ought to be as relevant outside of Wales too. That is, how language shapes our understanding of the world, and by extension, the importance of translation and language learning, which widens and deepens our connection with the world and each other. There is no better time to be reminded of the wonder of multilingualism, the way it opens the doors of the mind as well as doors within our communities. After Brexit, remember that, and the cuts to modern languages in schools, it's clear that the majority of people in Britain do not consider language as essential to our identity and the way we perceive reality. As such, a meditative and eloquent essay like this is especially valuable for our times. To finish, I'd like to say again how wonderful it was to be part of this inaugural prize and to be able to read so many articles by talented writers working in Wales today. A huge congratulations and longyfarchiadau mawr to our two worthy winners, Mererid Hopwood and Mark Redfern. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr, Eluned a Sian. Dim lot ar ôl gyda fi weid, ond gaf fi ategu bod i wedi bod yn braf i bod yn beirniaid gyda Sian ac Eluned ac yn anrhydedd wrth gwrs beirniadu Gwobr Emyr Humphreys Wobr am y tro cynta. Diolch yn fawr i Menna, wrth gwrs, am y gwahoddiad ac i Manon hefyd y PEN Cymru am ei gwaith yn y trefnu'r cyfan. Be na i yw cychwyn y feirniadaeth yn Saesneg wrth drafod gwaith Gary Raymond a Mark ac yna troi'r Gymraeg pan fi mlaen at darn Mererid. A gaf fi felly hefyd estyn fy llongyfarchiadau gwresog drwy'r sgrin at Mererid. And a very warm congratulations to you, Mark. This is what I wrote a few long weeks ago. We were asked to adjudicate between 7 pieces, all varied in terms of length and style. There were no weak pieces, though some struck us as being overviews of particular themes, lacking any great originality. We all agreed on the 3 pieces that we thought merited this first Emyr Humphreys Prize. Gary Raymond's Prince of Wales Bridge, Symbolism of a Sign, first appeared on the lively Wales Arts Review website. This is a characteristically punchy and intelligent response to the renaming of the Severn Bridge. The hero, or rather the villain of the piece, is the still Secretary of State for Wales, Alun Keynes. More medieval minstrel, says Raymond, charged with walking a few steps behind Theresa May, singing songs about her legendary battles than politician. Keynes, Gary Raymond concludes, has been of more use to the Prime Minister than he has been to Wales, and in that regard he's precisely in the strongest tradition of Tories who have filled that office. This has of course been said many times before, but it certainly deserves to be said again, and Raymond says it very well. Raymond directs his ire at Keynes, but he might also have considered the role of the Labour government in Wales. First Minister Carwyn Jones seemed to endorse with some enthusiasm the new gantry plaque that spits triumphantly in the faces of every driver and passenger with all it symbolises. Mark Redfern crossed the bridge with his nose in front and is the English language winner of this year's prize, as we've heard already, for his article that appeared in Planet magazine when Vice came to Swansea. Emyr Humphreys has always been attuned to and been a forensic analyser of the ways in which people view each other as individuals and as groups, the ways in which different denominations view each other in the Land of the Living series, views across the Atlantic in the Anchor Tree, views across divides of class and generation in his more recent short stories. And this piece has something in common, I think, with Humphreys' dissection in a well-known essay that Eluned has already referred to, collected in the interviews with Wynn Thomas, Conversations and Reflections, on Matthew Arnold's imperial gaze into Wales. Mark Redfern damns the makers of a globally popular voice documentary for the condescending and sensationalist ways in which they see Wales in general and the heroin problem in Swansea in particular. The nicely evidenced article deconstructs the cliches amassed in a film that ultimately functions to give the impression that, I quote, drug-taking and sexual degradation is the instinctual Welsh reaction to poverty. Redfern concludes powerfully by noting that Wales doesn't need dirty realist B-movies to tackle drug-related deaths. It needs law reform and decriminalisation. Ffyrdd o weld a deall ein gilydd yw un o themau erthygl Mererid Hopwood, doethineb iaith a hefyd, a gyhoeddwyd yn wreiddiol yn o'r 4 gwynt, ac sy'n cipio'r Wobr Gymraeg. Darn eglur i fynegiant a chiwren ei arddull sydd yn nodi pwysigrwydd astudio ieithoedd, yn ymrafel â chwestiwn J.R. Jones a oes rhaid i'r iaith ein gwahanu, ac yn dadlau bod hunaniaeth ieithyddol a'r gallu i fod yn agored ac yn gynhwysol. Yn yr ymgyprys athronyddol rhwng y cyffredinol a'r neilltuol, tueddir i gysylltu ieithoedd a lleiafrifol gyda'r neilltuol. Dim ond mewn iaith fyd-eang y gellir ymgyrraedd at y cyffredinol yn ôl trefedigaethwyr Prydeinig a lladmyryddion South Wales fel ei gilydd. Ond nid felly y mae, mydd Mererid Hopwood, gan atgyfnerthu dadl a wnaed hefyd gan Emyr Humphreys ar ffurf nofelau trethodau ac yn ei astudiaeth o lenyddiaeth Cymru yn y 2 brif iaith, the Taliesin tradition. Gall unrhyw un dysgu iaith, ac oherwydd bod iaith yn agored, mae i bob iaith ei hamrywiaeth fewnol ei hun. Gall y Gymraeg, yn iaith leiafrifol neilltuol, ymgorffori eraill o fewn ei neilltuolrwydd. Mae dadl ganolog Mererid Hopwood felly yn cyngeneddu a bywyd a gwaith Emyr Humphreys, bod y cyffredinol yw neilltuol. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Daniel. Diolch yn fawr iawn, Eluned a Sian hefyd, am eich ystyriaeth fanwl o'r erthyglau a'r ysgrifau a ddath i fewn drwy enwebiad aelodau Wales PEN Cymru. The 3 adjudicators, of course, were discussing the entries to the competition, entries that were nominated by Wales PEN Cymru members. It's my turn now to ask Mererid and to ask Mark to address you and to read from their winning entries. And it's a great pleasure as well. Mae'n hyfryd iawn gweld bod cynrychiolwyr o'r 2 gyhoeddwr o Planet ag o'r 4 gwynt wedi ymuno efo ni heno, ac da ni eisiau diolch yn fawr iawn i chi ag i holl fanna cyhoeddi yng Nghymru am y gwaith caled sy'n cael ei wneud yn siŵr bod gwaith awduron ag gwaith ysgrifennu craff fel hyn yn gweld golau dydd ac yn cyrraedd darllenwyr. Felly, i ddechrau, gai ofyn i Mererid i draddodi ychydig bach ar y darn sgwennodd hi. Diolch yn fawr, Mererid.
Diolch i ti, Elin. A gan bod i'n noson o brio, gobeithio bod i'n okay i ddechrau gyda chydig o ddiolchiadau. Diolch i bawb sy'n rhwng ar Wobr wrth gwrs. Ond hefyd diolch i'r Coleg Cymraeg ag i Hugh Williams a Ned Thomas o'r athronwyr a drefnodd y gynhadledd yna ar J.R. Jones rai blynyddoedd yn ôl bellach, a sbardinodd y pisyn mewn ffordd. Diolch i Sioned Pŵr Rowlands o'r criw o'r 4 gwynt am ddal ati gyda hyn. Do'n i ddim yn awyddus i gyhoeddi, ddim yn awyddus i balu drwy'r gwaith meddwl, ond i'n gwybod bydde angen i fi wneud mwyn gallu mynegu ar bapur beth oedd yn rownd yn ymhenni. A hefyd diolch i'r llondwrn ffyddlon. Darllenodd y darn cyn i fi adael e fynd, chi'n gwybod pwy i chi. Mae cael adborth onest fel dyw'r pisiau na ddim yn ei sens mam yn help bob tro. Felly'r cwestiwn o'n i'n ceisio mynd ar ei ôl oedd beth yw iaith? Dyw'r biolegwyr, yr athronwyr, yr addysgwyr, y cymdeithasegwyr, ieithegwyr hyd yn oed, ddim fel nhw'n gwybod. Y llenorion wedyn, wel, maen nhw'n cynnig rhai delweddau canolog difyr dadlennol i ni i waldo merch perygl yw iaith, i Gerallt, Ias yn y pridd, grym aniddig ar y mynyddoedd, ond sneb fel nhw'n gallu ateb y cwestiwn. A mae e'n gwthio i ben, i flaen fy meddwl i yn eitha aml. A nid beth yw'r iaith Gymraeg, ond beth yw iaith a talnod llawn, wel, neu marc gwestiwn. Just beth yw e. Ac yn ddiweddar wrth gwrs gyda gymgyrch 1 miliwn siaradwyr a chyhoeddi'r cwricwlwm newydd, lle does na ddim sôn am iaith mwyach, ond sôn am ieithoedd, mae mwy o fi'n eto fyth wedi bod ar yr holi. Beth yw iaith mewn cyd-destun amlieithog? Beth yw'r sgiliau ieithyddol craidd yn y cyd-destun hwnnw? I ni fel siaradwyr mwy nag un iaith yn gwybod yn iawn i bod nhw'n mwy na'r 4 sgil arferol, achos mae iaith yn y cyd-destun addysgiadol wedi bod yn 4 peth yn draddodiadol. Medru gwrando, siarad, darllen a sgrifennu. Ond i ni, mae o leiaf un sgil hanfodol arall, sef y gallu i lithro, trosi rhwng ieithoedd. A wedyn dod nôl at gwestiwn J.R. Jones, os rhaid i'r iaith yn gwahanu ni. Nawr, fel dwi'n deall, yr honiad heriol sydd ganddo fe yw bod iaith nas siaredir gan bobl yn gallu bod yn rhan annatod o'r hyn sy'n ei gwneud nhw yr hyn i nhw. Ac a thorri stori hir yn fyr, rwy'n rhannu meddyliau am hyn yn yr erthygl ac am y syniad o iaith fel cwys, lle mae dyfnder ac arwyneb gyda chi. Y ddoi wastad, mewn ffordd fel sydd gan J.R. Jones, y ffurfiannol yn y dyfnder a'r gweithrediadol ar y wyneb. Chi'n gweld, bod ni'n cael yn perswadio gan y meddwl un ieithog, mae'r cwbl yw iaith, yw 2 set o labeli am yr un set o bethau. Mae siaradwyr 2 neu fwy o ieithoedd o oedi am eiliad i feddwl yn gallu gweld pa mor gyfeiliornus yw'r canfyddiad hwnnw. Mae iaith yn llawer mwy na chyfnewidfa geiriau, allai weid sit a che am yr un gwrthrych, a dyna 2 air yn yr un iaith am yr un peth. Na, mae iaith yn llawer mwy na hynny. A mae yna berthynas sicr rhwng iaith a'r meddwl, falle bod ni ddim yn siŵr beth yw e, neu roi yn well rhwng yr iaith i ni'n siarad a'r ffordd i ni'n gweld y byd. Os ni'n ystyried am y Gymraeg am eiliad, a siwt mae hi'n caniatáu ni ddyrnad y berthynas rhyngon ni ag eiddo. Oherwydd mae mynegu'r berthynas honno drwy ddweud mae X gen i, neu mae gyda fi X, yn wahanol i'r gwys sy'n cael ei agor gan y Saesneg i ni, lle ni'n defnyddio I have an X. Fel ydw i'n dweud yn aml, allai ddim dweud I have a Porsche yn Gymraeg. Wrth gwrs, allai ddim dweud hwnna mewn unrhyw iaith. Ond i ni'n mynd ymlaen wedyn i feddwl to am siwt ni'n gweud bod ofon arna ni. Dyn ni ddim yn dirnad fel rhywbeth sydd yn diffinio ni, ond mae rhywbeth sydd y tu allan i ni. There is a fear upon me, ddim I am afraid. Godrych, berf, ansoddair, a'r ferf honno'r ferf bod. Na, nid fel na ni'n neud. A mae gan bob iaith i ffenest i hunan. Ond wedyn ar ôl llenwi hen ddigon o ofod yn o'r 4 gwynt, dwi'n dod i'r casgliad bod iaith, o'i dysgu hi boed yn fabanod, yn oedolion, neu hyd yn oed o fod wedi bron iawn o'i cholli hi, yn gallu bod yn beth cynhwysol neilltuol. Bod y Gymraeg felly yn gynhwysol neilltuol gan ei bod hi'n gallu ein cynnwys ni bawb o drigolion o wlad hon, ond hefyd fel arwydd, wedai ddim o'n arwahanrwydd ni, ond o'r hyn sy'n gwneud ni yn ni. Mae'r Gymraeg hefyd yn nodwedd neilltuol gynhwysol amdano ni. A, wel, ffynna'r meddyliau fel wedi Dewi Emrys. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Mererid. Mae cyfle wrth gwrs i ddarllen yr erthygl yn ei chyfanrwydd yn o'r 4 gwynt, ac mae'r ddolen wedi cael ei rhannu yn ystod y chat yma. And I hope that you're finding the chat useful as well, if you can't follow the spoken Welsh during these parts. So Mark, congratulations to you too, but can we hear some of what you have to say about your winning entry?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Professor Hopwood. I managed to bumble my way around the Welsh language Pedwar Gwyn website. I managed to get myself a subscription and had a little look over it.
Thanks, Mark. I'll accept that. If you accept mine, and please don't call me Professor Mererid. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, sorry. I do apologize. And thank you to PEN Cymru as well. You know, it's brilliant. Like listening to you guys, you know, compliment my work. It's given me a massive confidence boost. And thank you for Emily from Planet for really helping me edit it all. You know. I just wanted to say, I probably shouldn't write with bile in my gut, but I feel for this subject, I just needed to kind of get out some of that passion that I have for these Vice documentarians. They offer a very reductive view of Wales and addiction at large, you know, and I think they're massively oversimplifying a complex issue. Which I think with a platform like Vice has, I think is a massive misstep for sure. They've got so many great resources that they could be sending, but they managed to make this caricature, you know. I say in the article, like I quote one of their critics that say that they do the Vice documentaries are half-baked reportage of depraved situations, and I think that absolutely applies to teenage heroin epidemic, you know. In my lofty opinion, I think they're very unqualified to actually, you know, go near a subject anywhere like that. Just because I don't think they're very affluent men, and they haven't gone through the same sort of things that anywhere near what their subjects are going through. And they are sensationalists at their core, you know. I got to point out that they're, I think one of the films that bookends teenage heroin epidemic in their video compilation about Britain was about an Elvis convention in Blackpool. I'm not sure how you can go from an Elvis convention in Blackpool to a heroin epidemic in South Wales. To me, it just does not make sense. And you know, I hope that doesn't come off as snobbish. I think anybody can do anything, but you know, some people are more qualified than others, you know. And I also had a problem with them not seeking any solutions to the subject matter they're talking about. You know, we have heroin-assisted treatment, we have drug consumption rooms. These things would be brilliant for them to put into their article, but they fell by the wayside, you know. And also, when you've got such a massive reach as Vice do, you really should be pulling these people up by the lapels and you know, showing the people that there are these horrible situations that people are living in. And all they did was demonize a very vulnerable group of those who don't have access to fight back against it, you know. And I think it's irresponsible to keep people like drug users at arm's length, because it makes it harder to pass legislation that benefits them, you know, and it makes it easier to demonize them and just imagine that it's a problem that you can just keep out of the way, you know. You know, thank you. Just to round up, thank you very much for giving me all these great compliments. I've just had to go on universal credit, so the £500 came in very, very well. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, you know. So yeah, thank you again. It's very kind of you guys. Thank you.
Great. Oh, great. Diolch yn fawr iawn, Mark. Great. And you can read Mark's article too in Planet, and that's been shared. The link has been shared through the chat yn fyna hefyd. Felly, digon o gyfleoedd i ddarllen yr ddwy ysgrif fuddugol yn fan hyn. Ga i droi rwan at Wynn Thomas i gyflwyno yn rhithiol ac yn ffurfiol y Wobr i'r ddau enillwyr ar yn rhan ni yn Wales PEN Cymru. Ac hefyd, da ni'n ddiolchgar iawn i chi am gynrychioli y dau o'r noddwyr sydd wedi gwneud y noson yma ar Wobr a'r gystadleuaeth i fod yn llwyddiant. Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi Wynn, felly a hoffech chi ddeud ychydig eiriau hefyd i ni yn sgil eich gwybodaeth eang iawn o Emyr Humphreys. Wynn.
Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Mae'n brofiad od i wedi gwir i gyflwyno Gwobr a dim byd yn y llawi. It's a strange experience to present a prize and be empty-handed, but it's my great pleasure to do so. Na I siarad yn y ddwy iaith, ond falle'n benna Saesneg. I'll move from Welsh to English as best I can. Dachrau dwi ddweud pa mor briodol rwy'n credu mae cyflwyno'r Wobr yma. It seems to me how appropriate it is that this prize be presented at this time. Emyr celebrated his 101st birthday last week, and he's still very much alive and kicking, and he knows about this present occasion and is very pleased indeed that it should take place. Mae yna nifer o resymau eraill pam rwy'n credu bod yn briodol i ni gyflwyno'r Wobr arbennig yma i Emyr. There are other reasons too why I think there are connections really between this particular prize, which is presented after all in the name of PEN Cymru and Emyr and his history. Rheswm cyntaf yw bod un o gyfrifoldebau penna rwy'n credu PEN yw edrych ar ôl gwrthwynebwyr y byd yma, y rai sydd yn herio'r drefn. The primary purpose of PEN is to ensure that there's some protection given to the dissenters of this world, those who are so frequently at odds with their government. And Emyr has pronounced himself to be a dissenter. That's how he thinks of himself as being. Ac yn wir, yn yr 80au, fe gynhyrchodd 7 o raglenni ar gyfer y teledu yn ymwneud â nhw. In fact, back in the 1970s, Emyr actually produced 7 programs for a TV on the very subject of dissenters. And they range from John Penry, the Welsh Puritan, through Lenin, right through to Bonhoeffer. Felly mae'n briodol iawn rwy'n credu taw co megis am wrthwynebwyr y byd yma mae'r Wobr yn cael ei chyflwyno. Yn ail, secondly, yr agwedd gydwladol ar PEN a'i waithgarwch. Secondly, it's important that we note that PEN is an international organisation, worldwide of course, in its activities. Ac erioed fe dymlodd Emyr i fod nid yn unig yn Gymro, ond yn Gymro Ewropeaidd. Mae erioed wedi bod yn gydwladol iawn i olwg ar y byd. Emyr has always emphasised that in fact he's not just Welsh, he's a Welsh European. And his outlook on the world has been shaped accordingly. Ac yn drydydd yn y benna, wrth gwrs, y cyswllt personol agos iawn a fi rhwng Emyr a Saunders Lewis. And lastly, and most importantly, this prize, in a sense, commemorates and celebrates the very close working relationship that existed between Emyr and Saunders Lewis. Mae berthynas â Saunders Lewis yn rhychwantu i yrfa gyfan gan ddechrau, wrth gwrs, adeg Penaberth, pan oedd Emyr on yn grwt 25 yn yr ysgol. Emyr first heard about Saunders Lewis through Penaberth in 1936 and the burning of the bombing school. He was at the time just a schoolboy, and it was a revelation to him. And you might say that ever since he's taken his bearings from Penaberth as a person and as a writer. Ac fe olwywyd i feddwl ei ddychymyg y pryd hynny'n ifanc gan waithgarwch Saunders Lewis. Then secondly, when Emyr was actually an administrator in Florence during the Second World War, looking after a refugee camp, he spent his evenings reading Saunders Lewis's articles Cwrs y Byd in y fanner, believe it or not. Mae'n sôn am bod yn ibanc chwyslyd yn Florence ac yn darllen yn y Gymraeg ysgrifau Saunders Lewis Cwrs y Byd yn y fanner. A dylan mae'r fi rheini arno fe. And then lastly, of course, and most importantly, when Emyr became head of drama for BBC Wales in the 50s and the 60s, working in radio and television, he worked very, very closely with Saunders Lewis, who was living in Penarth. Y cyfnod yna yn 50au, 60au, pan fi Emyr mor weithgar ym myd y cyfryngau yng Nghymru, fe fi na gydweithrediad creadigol cryf iawn rhwng fe Saunders Lewis. He it was, that is Emyr, who produced for television and radio some of Saunders Lewis's late plays. Brad, for example, a Gymerwch I Cigarette. And then, of course, in a sense, most famously, there was that production of Sian, featuring Emyr's own translations of Saunders Lewis's great play. And who should perform in that production? But yes, Sian Phillips, young, and then also Richard Burton and Peter O'Toole. And there are clips, and only clips, I'm afraid, surviving of that remarkable occasion. Mae'n briodol iawn felly bod y Wobr yma yn cael ei chyflwyno i'r ddau ohonoch chi yn enw Emyr, ond hefyd mwyn anrhydeddu y cyswllt agos yna y fi rhwng Emyr a Saunders Lewis. Now, when Emyr celebrated his 100th birthday a year ago, I and a few others were very, very concerned. We'd seen what had happened. Wynn Thomas had been lauded to the skies. Vast sums of money had been spent on remembering him and celebrating the anniversary. R.S. Thomas, a couple of years later, complete silence, complete blanket ignorance on the part of the culture of Wales. No acknowledgement of R.S. at all, except for the programme that a few of us put together. I did not want Emyr, who's still alive and celebrating his 100th birthday, to be, to all intents and purposes, forgotten last year. And I was so pleased that I was able to do something to remedy that, and so pleased that out of that, and through cooperation with us, Menna got the idea of establishing this prize in his memory. And I'd like to pay tribute to the remarkable work that Menna has done against the odds to establish this prize, to collect the money, and to enable this evening to happen. Llongyfarchiadau mawr iawn I Menna ac i'r tîm a fi wrthi yn gweithio mor ddygwn mwyn sicrhau bod hyn o'n bosib. And in trying to ensure that Emyr be properly celebrated last year, I wanted to make sure that it was his contemporaneity that would be celebrated. That is his relevance today. It so happens that he sent me a whole sheaf of poems just a year previous, and they became shards of light. And that has been very well received. Gwyneth Lewis praising it as a volume of European stature and importance, and Menna saying similarly nice, kind things about it. It was important to me that Emyr be recognised by contemporary writers of Wales. And you too, this evening, I'm so pleased that you've ended up winning this prize. Many congratulations to both of you. Because you see, I've just been listening to an account of the adjudicators of your contributions. They're so appropriate to Emyr's own work. He's not only been, a poet, a novelist, a cultural historian, a TV and radio, a writer and producer. He's also been a committed public intellectual. That is one who always believed he should engage with the Wales of today, of his time. He's gone to prison for that. He's written remarkable, incisive articles about what you might call the Welsh condition. So have you both. And therefore, it's my great pleasure, really, to present a prize to you, at least symbolically. I'm sure that a cheque will reach each of you in time. Ond llongyfarchiadau mawr iawn I chi'ch dau, a diolch yn mawr iawn am y cyfle I gyflwyno'r wobr yma I chi.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Mi fydd yr arian yn dod, nid yn rhithiol, ond go iawn, yn fuan iawn i'r ddau ohonoch chi, i'ch llongyfarch chi yn arbennig ar eich camp. So yes, the money will be pinged over as soon as possible, faster than a check, we hope, faster than a check. And through technological wizardry, it'll arrive, and well deserved too. Menna, gai droi atoch chi rwan, just I gloi y noson hyfryd ma da ni di gael. Mae'n fraint bob amser gallu cymryd rhan mewn gweithgareddau pen. Os welwch chi'r hyn sydd tu ôl I fi'n fan hyn, mi welwch chi bod na ffurflenni ymaelodi hyd yn oed yn fy nhyf I. Felly, gobeithio'n fawr y bydd pobl yn cymryd y cyfle I ymaelodi a Wales PEN Cymru, ac I sylweddoli bod pob mas o bobl sy'n sgwennu yn aelodau o Wales PEN Cymru. Mae yna ddolen yn cael ei rhoi trwy'r chat rwan I sicrhau bod hynny yn hawdd I chi wneud. Do join Wales PEN Cymru. It's very easy to do it. It's a little click through the chat, and it's very important at this time for us to show a sense of solidarity, not only with writers of all kinds here in Wales, but more importantly, to show that Wales is an outward-looking nation, that we, despite everything that's happening politically through governments that we may have had no part in electing, we are an outward-looking nation, we are internationalist, and we want to support freedom of speech and writers who are suffering across the world. Menna, gai droi atoch chi I gloi os gwelwch chi'n dda.
Wel, diolch I bawb, a diolch Elin, ti wedi dweud yr un oedd eisiau I ddweud ynglyn ag PEN Cymru, ond wy'n credu bod ni'n cael noson hyfryd, a wedi dangos bod dim rhaid yr iaith yn gwahanu chwaith, gael dyfynu rhywun arall, ac it's wonderful to have this evening such different kinds of writing and different spheres, and to prove the importance of writing. I'll end just by quoting Wallace Winker, who said, we all know of him, the poet, the Nobel laureate, all forms of writing are terror to those who wish to suppress the truth. And that's true even today. There's also a graffiti I saw when I was out in Quebec, and it said, "Dictators fear writers, they fear readers more." And so that's why we should be bold, and you showed that. You've been dynamic and bold, Mererid, and also Mark, and thank you for doing the writing you are doing, and diolch I chi gyd. Felly, noswaith dda, neu nos da, so'n gweud yn siŵr, pa un sy'n weddus.
Ar gweithgaredd nesaf sydd gan Wales PEN Cymru ydy yr hergyfieithu, y Translation Challenge. Bob blwyddyn, da ni'n dewis darn o waith o iaith benodol ac yn gosod cystadleuaeth I gyfieithu i'r Gymraeg ac I gyfieithu i'r Saesneg. Hergyfieithu Translation Challenge. A'r dyddiad cau ar gyfer eleni ydy'r ail ar 20 o Fai. Mae un o'r beirniaid yma'n yn plith ni. Felly cyfieithu o'r Almaeneg i'r Gymraeg ac o'r Almaeneg i'r Saesneg. So the deadline for Translation Challenge this year is the 22nd of May. We've selected German as our guest language this year, and we run the competition into Welsh and also into English. And our partners for that are Pedwar Gwynt for the competition into Welsh and Poetry Wales for the competition into English. Felly, da ni'n falch iawn o'r bartneriaeth ehangach honno hefyd, hefo Prifysgol Abertawe, Prifysgol Cymru Drindod Dewi Sant, Cymdeithas Cyfieithwyr Cymru, a dwi'n siŵr o fod wedi anghofio. Ac wrth gwrs Lenny, efo'r Goethe Institute. Felly.
Can I also add that PEN Cymru is an organisation for writers, by writers. Voluntarily, we give our ideas, so any events you can think of or any projects, then please get in touch. And we hope that we could somehow see if they can be brought to life.
Diolch yn fawr iawn I bawb am gymryd rhan. I hope that it's been a pleasurable experience, that it hasn't been too difficult to sit down and be on screen for yet another 50 minutes during the day. Ond diolch yn fawr iawn I bawb. Diolch I Menna'n arbennig am ddod ar gystadleuaeth yma'n fyw, i'r 3 beirniad am ei gwaith caled, I Wynn hefyd am ei gyfraniad eang i'r maes yma, ac yn bennaf oll i'r 2 enillydd I Mererid ac I Mag. Congratulations, and I hope that you've enjoyed the evening. Nos da.
Nos da.